everybody. Welcome to the Ordinary Guy Show. As you can see, we're off to a great start. But we got special guests in the house. Today we have Joe. Joe, say your last name because I can say it, but...
Parlapiano.
Parlapiano.
Parlor piano.
Yeah, kind of like, people are like, what do you do for a living?
Like
I
a
play the
smoking parlor piano.
Yeah, something like that. But
If that's offensive, I'm sorry.
No, it's
We're
not.
very offensive.
Not even close.
Okay.
So Joe and I met a bunch of years back shooting pool, right? Chalkies?
Yeah, shooting pool chalkies.
Yep.
Playing
And
with sticks.
Playing with sticks, and then we
And
realized sticks and balls. Yeah, sticks, balls, some in blue, some in black. It all works.
I was just going to say sticks.
Most
But
of 'em-
okay.
most of them infected. But no, so we met shooting pool. We realized we had a couple things in common. So over the years, we've always kept in touch, specifically with aquariums and fish tanks and stuff like that. And Joe,
I have so many questions.
you can ask all the questions you want. So Joe actually chimed in after our Super Bowl episode when we were trying to explain some of the prop bets. I remember we were talking about the prop bets and like the odds and all that sort of stuff, and we didn't know what the hell we were talking about. So Joe actually can explain some of that for us, which is kind of cool.
Well,
So-
that doesn't follow the script of this show at all.
Nope, not at all. So anyway, so listen. So this episode of the podcast
It's
is
brought to you from
by-
Chicago.
No, it's brought to us by Chicago.
Remember New York, Chicago?
Oh yeah, that was terrible. Did you catch that last episode?
No.
When we were telling a story that happened in.
Jesse Smollett. I thought it happened in New York. It was totally in Chicago.
We're talking about New York. We're talking about like how it's possible in New York. The shit was totally Chicago.
Totally wrong city.
Yeah.
That's way off.
Way
Yeah.
Way
Which
off.
is typical.
Yeah. So this episode is actually brought to us by American Regardless. Kevin's wearing an American Regardless shirt. We'll post some stuff in the show notes for you guys to click on, some links. We got promo code for you. OG show, AmericanRegardless.com. I know YouTube's not a big fan of us talking about advertisements, but nobody listens, so they're not gonna.
One day they'll care, and
One
then this episode will be taken off.
A year from now, they'll flag this episode for improper sponsors. But American Regardless, we have a promo that we're giving away an American Regardless shirt. Stay tuned because next is going to be a hat. We're giving away some cool stuff,
Because it doesn't fit Kevin's giant head.
which is I think should be its own segment. Things that do not fit Kevin's head:
Nothing.
headphones, hats,
Air.
hair. All right.
His hair looks like it's trying to
So-
run away too.
Dude,
Huge shout out to
I'm
American
telling you.
Regardless. We'll do, if you're listening to the audio version, you would have caught a commercial in the beginning. So if you're listening to video, we have to be a little more vague. But actually, stand up, Kevin. Show us back your shirt.
again?
Yeah, because nobody saw the first take.
All right.
The camera's not even on, Kevin. There you go.
Is it on now?
Yeah, it's fine. American Regardless. There you go. All right. So,
For the listening audience,
yeah.
it is an AR-15 across another AR-15, and it says American Regardless on it. And it is black and white, and it is beautiful.
It's kind of our thing.
Yeah,
Black, white, beautiful.
we're like Michael Jackson. You remember that song? You know what's black, white. Don't make me sing the
All
whole
right.
thing.
All right. So,
Ow!
Joe. That was loud, by the way.
That was really loud in the headphones.
All right, Joe.
Let's go.
What do you got going on these days, man?
Nothing. I'm just working in the oil field most of the time, or I'm at home 2 weeks at a time, goofing off.
I forgot. So Joe works on an oil field. What are you doing on the oil field?
I do flowback, which is basically a unit goes down the well. They clean the well out. As they're cleaning the well out, I receive all the stuff back, and got to control the well from where I'm standing at.
So like you receive the shit that they're cleaning out, comes back.
Yeah, it goes into a compartment. The stuff comes through the 3-inch iron, comes into a junk catcher, hits the junk catcher, and I have to control when it gets dumped, all stuff like that. It's annoying.
That's pretty bad. Is it messy
No, it's not bad unless you have to break it apart.
for something gets stuck or whatever?
Yeah, if something gets stuck, you got to break it apart.
What kind of shit comes out of there?
It's just plastic and rubber pieces.
Oh,
they
shit,
put
that break
down
off.
the hole.
Yeah.
They put it down the hole on purpose.
Oh,
So when it's down there, they have to get it back out.
yeah.
They put it down there to stop the zone, however long the zones are, and they go from there.
That's fucking
I'm
crazy.
totally lost, but I like it.
Did you not pay attention to where he said he works?
I was looking at the board for a
Jesus
second.
Christ, Kevin. He works on freaking oil field.
I figured that out.
Well, I'm sure he did. Hey, speaking of which, did you hear? I don't know where I heard it. Did you hear about people stealing oil?
No.
Like in Mexico, maybe.
How much oil could you steal, though?
Like literally, I guess the cartel was like stealing. Oh no, that's what it was. That's what it was. It was that guy that was recently on Rogan wrote a book, El Narco or something like that. He was talking about how the narcos down there are stealing oil. They basically tap into like two parts of the pipe, and they pump water in to keep the pressure consistent, and they're stealing oil out the other end, or vice versa.
I wonder who's buying the oil.
But dude, apparently it had sprung a leak, and a bunch of people were trying to grab oil. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but oil is pretty expensive. I mean, especially if you're in a poor place. So, dude,
but it's like $80 a barrel. Like, if you're getting a leak.
No. I'm not thinking puddle. I'm thinking like geyser.
It was probably geyser now.
It's probably like a geyser, bro. People were probably like, trying to bring like
put
hot
their
tubs.
truck under it?
Something. But
that's what I'm saying. Even a truck, like a F-150 full of it's only going to be like $500.
I mean, that's $500, bro.
Of course.
That's a brand new truck.
Oh, I have a story about that, by the way.
So on top of that, apparently it exploded while they were all trying to get that shit. Like 45 people.
Fire explosion or just oil?
No, I think fire explosion. Like, I think 40-something people died.
That would be awful.
I'm only quoting somebody who was quoting something on somebody else's show.
So most likely,
not
in the best interest of this show as always.
Yeah. This shit probably happened in Africa. It was probably like 4 people.
And it's probably a diamond mine.
It's probably diamonds.
Diamonds exploded everywhere.
Yeah. But anyway, dude, that's freaking nuts though, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I imagine it's hard work.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Some of the time you're not doing nothing but trying to stay warm.
And I would.
Yeah. So where's the field at?
I work in Colorado or Wyoming.
Jesus.
Is this fracking or is this like drilling?
Fracking.
Okay.
Well, I do the after fracking part. So they frack, and as they're fracking, they put the plugs in down hole for each. Like, they put a gun down there that has dynamite or some type of explosive on it. They put that down hole. They let it off down there. Then they start fracking into it, and then they put the plug down. They do that anywhere from 20 times to 80 times. So let's just say.
And it's pretty much like a lot of water pressure or something makes this work, right?
Yeah, they're pushing water and sand and gel and stuff down hole. And it goes down hole. It goes into the formation, spreads the formation apart. Then they put a plug down there, and the plug stops and leaves everything where it's at. Then they do it over and over and over again until they're done.
Until it runs dry?
No, they do that first to open all the holes up. It won't run dry for a good 10, 15, 20 years, depending on how good the well is. Some of them are still running that are like 40 years old.
Which has now put us at one of the largest oil reserves in the whole world now, right? Because of fracking?
Yeah, I mean, we have one of the biggest reserves or amount of oil under the ground anywhere. But, you know, the yuppies don't want us to touch it.
AKA the liberals.
Yeah, those people.
So have you noticed, like, I don't know, like, how would your business be affected by Trump basically, not trying to get too political about it, but the fact that he's like, yeah, Jake, drill. I don't give a shit.
No, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing for you guys, right?
It's the people that are overseas that own OPEC that are going to be the pain in the ass people that control everything.
Right.
If the Saudi prince says, hey, it's $10 a barrel, guess what? It's $10 a barrel.
Right, so they're controlling the market for it.
Yeah.
So the worst thing I think that could happen for us is we start drilling a whole bunch, we get a ton of oil, and they freaking crash the value of it. So now we're sitting on all this oil.
No, because we can become totally independent. And in fact, we are independent for the first time in, I think they said ever.
We could be completely independent if we wanted to be.
Sure, but I mean, same thing, right? If you got a bunch of money or a bunch of whatever, right, and you're sitting on it, and other people want the same product, and other people are making the same product, I mean, sometimes it makes sense to hold on to your own stash and buy from somebody else so that you can charge more for it later.
Well, that's what we did for about 60 years. So that's where we are. But
so we're awesome.
We have parts of the country that we haven't even touched yet.
I can imagine.
Like, they just started, like, some of Wyoming hasn't really been touched. One of the companies I work for that's contracted to us, they started a new area up in Wyoming, North Wyoming, that nobody really ever touched. There was a couple wells up there, old school, straight down, they're verticals, so they're not in that much space. So
I see what you're saying.
The old wells weren't getting that much oil, so why do it? There's no reason. There's no oil there. They thought. So now with all the technology they have, they go over, they scan the ground, see what's down there. Now they're like, holy crap, there's a lot of oil down here. Let's go get it. So do the same thing they're doing in Colorado and Texas and North Dakota. pumping down there to find out, hey, these wells are awesome. These wells are pushing out a lot of oil in them.
So think about how many wells we probably had that either had more potential, like maybe we just weren't down far enough.
Well, no,
right?
that's the whole shale thing. You don't even need a full-on well no more. You don't need like a Beverly Hillbillies. You just need something that has some oil in it because the pressure is pulling it out of the shale. Is that how I hear that it is?
Yeah, when the sand's down there, as soon as the sand and the water goes down there, first you want to get all the water out. The water comes out during my part that I do.
But more or less, instead of drilling down, hitting a puddle, so to speak, now you're able to just drill down where you know oil is and push it to that access point.
Yeah.
Obviously, a much better solution.
Once you have a hole in the ground, basically, it's going to come out. If it's there, it's coming out.
Now, to play devil's advocate, what the liberals say, that's my new word.
Liberals.
Yeah.
The liberali. We can make them, dude, we can just call them liberales, and Trump will be like, we can't be here.
Yeah. So
That sounds Mexican.
Pretty close.
So they say it contaminates the water, and there's like videos of people lighting, their water on fire,
Sure.
which sounds awesome. I mean, we live in Titusville. Our water is terrible in the first place,
That's
so
bad.
I'd rather it light on fire than some of the stuff we get.
I'm not going to. Joe, do you live here in town?
Yeah, I live like 5 miles away from you.
Okay. So, you've been getting the notices like every 6 months?
I have a well. I don't have to worry about that.
Okay. You've seen the notices?
Yeah,
Like,
they're saying that our water is contaminated. Like the city is saying, hey, you shouldn't drink your water.
No. They're saying your water may have been contaminated from July to August, and you're like, it's December.
Yeah, they're like, hey, have you heard of Flint, Michigan? This is part 2. And the sequel is always better.
I know somebody's going to call us out on this, but I know we had some deep history with like dumping. Didn't we have an issue? Isn't that why our water bills are typically higher here in town?
Oh, we've been fined so many times, the city of Titusville, because we're not up to code. Not to mention, what was it, 5-6 months ago, we had a big turd spill out in the middle of the river where one of the relief valves got stuck or something out there by River Road and just dumped a whole bunch of sewage in there.
Well, I just know the next town over, their water bill's like 50 to 60% less than what ours are here.
If you were to live literally 2 miles that way, because you're outside city limits, you'd be on county water.
For people who can't see that way, that's my wall behind me.
Yes. So
Be south.
2 miles in any direction,
South.
2 miles due south. If you are in actual Brevard County city limits, because I used to live there, water bill was about $20 a month.
It's crazy.
Yeah, my grandmother's water bill in Port St. John, right on Fay,
Yeah.
is about $32
And
total.
Kevin, were you in like the 90 range? 80, 90?
90 a month.
Yeah, same here. 92, I think was the last one.
That's
Which is a lot
ridiculous.
for water. It's a lot
Which
for
our
water.
city council is just perfectly okay with. Which, by the way, when are we running for city council?
I don't know. I think we should just get them on the show. If we can get everybody from city council on the show, we won't really have to run.
They won't talk.
No.
You put them in front of me, they're not going to talk because I am going to be awful. Absolutely awful.
I just want to know why my water's so expensive.
I don't want to know why that. There's a lot of other questions I want to know.
Hey, why is my water so expensive? Why do you only pick up trash one day a week? Why do you not get to? Why is recycling every other week? Do you really recycle?
I have a segue because I'm interested. From the moment you told me you guys played pool together,
Yeah.
I've always wondered because
Yep.
I don't play pool. Let me just preface that. I am terrible. I mean terrible at pool. Awful. But why is a pool stick? Some of them in the $1,000. It is a stick. That's how the normal person looks at it.
Yeah, a lot of it depends.
Okay, so that depends on like my cue. I have one cue that's worth like $150, and then my other cue is worth about 300-ish.
I feel like
But-
we're talking violins.
Most of
I mean,
well, that's the type of wood you're using.
It's the type
like
of wood.
Violins.
The wood that's
Similar, yeah.
That's
I
the
guess.
shaft. That's the top part of the cue. It depends on the density of it and all that type of stuff. Depends on how much money it's worth. Like my shaft itself is worth like $250, and my butt's worth about like $125.
I've noticed that this
Retail.
sport is very sexually oriented.
It is.
Everything you say.
You got to jam the butt into the shaft to make the balls go in the hole.
Yeah, that's the whole sport.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And you got to chalk it, so you got it's like kind of you got to like lube it up.
Yeah, you lube
Basically.
it up. Put maybe
But no,
condom on it.
to his to his explanation, right? So you can have different types of wood make the shaft, right? The shaft, like he says, the most important part. Now, tip, which could be made of how many different types of leather do they have for tips?
So that tip's made out of leather.
Most of the tips
Most of the tips are.
Some of them are phenolic. Then they have this new tip that's coming out that's all acrylic. I don't know how that's going to work, but I seen it the other day.
And those are usually firmer tips. They're usually meant for breaking, like if someone's breaking the rack open.
So you would use multiple pool cues.
I've got 3 cues that I use.
I have 4.
This is
I
so
only use
crazy
2
to
per
me.
match, though.
But mine aren't very expensive, right? So I've got a break stick. It's nice and heavy this way. I don't have to like throw my shoulder into it. I just break nice.
We're talking
break.
pool here, Frank. You're not going to throw your arm out.
Dude, you be people.
Listen, there's people that can hit the ball about 25, 30 miles an hour.
Did you play in the team when Ronnie was on the team?
Ronnie who? Oh, Big Ronnie?
Big Ronnie.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy, I'm telling
Ronnie,
you.
they just called you out.
He's not
From
gonna
a
listen
big
to this.
guy to a big
He
guy,
ain't gonna
Ronnie.
listen to this.
I hope Ronnie hears
Look,
this one day.
Look, Ronnie's so big that this is a good ratio of me to pool table, almost with like Ronnie would lean over the long end of the pool table, right, and have to like, he's like this, and he doesn't even have to move, like you know what I'm saying, like he doesn't have to tippy toe or nothing. He just like leaned over.
He's just a tall dude.
He's tall, but his arms, he's half gorilla.
I didn't think that'd be a thing though. Like he's built for pool. You know, like you think of pool players. I'm sorry, but you think of pool players as being old fat dudes that are alcoholics.
See, the good pool.
I mean,
players,
honestly,
the really good pool players that I've noticed, right, are, and it's not to call anybody out or anything, but it's usually like, you notice that like slender, petite women are usually pretty good because it's the ability to like get over.
stretch
They
your
can
body.
They can reach for
They
that.
can reach for it.
The taller you are, no more time. It
Tall,
makes it easier
lanky
to-
guys. So there's some certain shots that I'd have to shoot. I got to get a bridge just because I'm right-handed.
Is a bridge legal in league play?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. We're actually gonna have somebody come on that's gonna like talk all pool and explain this shit to you one day. By the way.
Well, then we
Ooh,
won't
Cody.
delve too deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Cody come on.
But it's one sport I don't know a lot about, and I consider myself a sports enthusiast.
So, it's a mathematical sport, right?
It's
Geometry.
all angles.
It's all angles and geometry.
If you're good with the angles, you should be good at pool.
You'd be surprised. There are
So
a lot
it's
of people,
tennis for
engineers like
drunks.
pool. Engineers like pool.
And a lot of engineers like pool. Engineers like pool. Man, everybody loves pool.
So it's a socially awkward sport.
Not really.
No.
Pool can be played at any age. If you can reach the table, that was the rule back in the day.
You reach
If
the
you
table.
can reach the table, you can play. And people that are, let's just go back to 10 years old. You could play at 10 years old, and you could be good playing at 70, 80 years old. There's guys that come out and play in the weekly pool tournaments still in Merritt Island at jockeys all the time. And they're 70-some years old, 75 years old. And those guys, they take more time than anybody else. They don't rush anything. Obviously, they can't walk around the table very fast. But those guys take their time. They line everything up. They're more your advanced players, I would say.
And a lot of it, too, is like you said, it's the angles, right? But it's also, like, at some point, you know that shot. At some point, you've had that shot before, so you're like, okay, I know the angle, and I know I missed it. If I do this, I have a good chance of making it. He makes it. Next time he goes that shot, he's like, all right, I know that angle. I know how to make it. I'm telling you, like, pool's a lot of that because there's things, too, like you can shorten angles, making, widen the angles just by putting certain English, speed, all that sort of shit. But
And then on to the next thing.
Yep.
There's 2 sports that I don't understand.
What's the other one?
Next one's poker.
Oh, come on now. That's
You
the
really don't
easiest sport
understand
there
poker?
is.
No, I can't play poker. I don't know how. I promise.
See, before I started dealing poker, I was decent. I was okay.
No, like I don't know how to play poker.
I'm sorry.
No, listen.
Okay, so quick question. Do you understand, you understand the basics of cards, like the deck of cards, obviously. Right?
Yeah, I know
It's
there's
a dumb
52
question.
of them, and I like to make people pick them up.
Okay.
So,
But you obviously know, like, you understand the concept pairs, 3 of kind. that
I
sort
know
of shit.
poker about as well as I know chess. I can play it on a video game. That's about it.
Then you probably know it better than you think you do.
No, because if you watch that crap, which, by the way, I don't like it on ESPN. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm serious.
That's
Well,
'cause
you're
you can
probably
see
always
everything.
watching Texas Hold'em where you can see the cards that everybody's
You
playing.
can see what everybody else is playing. If you're playing by yourself and you can't see what Frank has sitting in front of him,
That's what I'm saying. It's a horrible sport to watch on TV. It's very boring. And when I see everything, there's no, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, you don't know what's going to happen in a basketball game. You don't know what's going to happen in a baseball game. Like, that's the fun of it. But you know who's got that hand in that dang thing, and I can't watch it. I'm like, this is stupid.
That's because you're watching it, like you said. But look, here's the deal. You want to learn how to play cards? right?
Not really.
No, you got to show up. You got to show up to one of those like drunken family nights when everybody's playing like crazy poker games. You ever do that?
Yeah, we used to play
Tell
quarter nickel
tell
dime.
him about the time.
Yeah, quarter nickel dime games.
Tell him about the time I played poker with you.
I don't even remember.
Okay, so John's house.
Okay.
No, you weren't there.
I don't think it was.
It was Kyle, Matt, and John were having a poker night. And they were like, come over and play poker. And I'm like, I don't know how to play
I
poker.
might have been there.
No, you weren't. I was wrong. But I went over there and seriously ate all the chicken wings and watched them play poker for about 3 hours with Roy. And I didn't play a single hand. And they were like, this is a 3-card Monty or something. And then something about a river.
I ain't never heard that in my life, dude.
I don't know.
A 3-card Monty.
But listen, I can tell something. You won the night just because you got to eat all the food and watch them play.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. 2 of those 3 people lost money. Right?
I know who
Oh,
didn't
you
lose
all
money. Me.
Well, no, as I'm saying, 2 of those 3 people lost money, and on top of that, they're hungry. So the only person who's enjoying their meal is the one that won the money, and so you won.
Yeah. No, I sat there and watched them play. I'd never understood it.
So I like it when the card games get a little crazy, like lowest card in the hole is wild or something like that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
Because
when you're playing house games?
you're
House
playing
games
house
are the
games.
best.
They're the best because now somebody's like, oh, I've got 4 of a kind. Like they'll naturally have 4 of a kind, right? And then you have the dude who's got like 2 wild cards. It's the lowest card. Your lowest card is wild, and they got like 3 2s, right? So you're like, I've got 4 kings. You have 1 ace and 3 2s. You're like, I got 4 aces. You win.
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's the fun part about
Here's my
house
thing.
games.
I'll explain to you why I don't like playing cards. When I'm going to play a game, like video games, for instance, there is 0 brain activity going on during that game.
There's actually a lot. You actually have to think about what you're doing. Otherwise, you're probably dying all the time.
I do that too.
You're probably the guy headshot on PUBG all the time. Just boom, done.
Actually, I'm a Fortnite guy.
No, see, I don't like
Hey.
you already.
So listen.
It's
so-
because my son's Fortnite. I was PUBG, but in order to spend time with him, although, have you played Apex yet?
No, I haven't even touched. Dude, I haven't touched my Xbox in like 3 weeks.
Get on and play
Apex
Apex.
is apparently the thing. So if you can get ahead of it, you might be decent before it blows up.
It's Call of Duty, but the
Same
same
type
thing.
of map.
Yeah, but no
Dude.
building.
All right.
So it's
All right.
more like PUBG.
So it's just just open area.
Yeah. And it's good. It's like real good.
Where the guns and stuff at.
Do you happen to
Oh,
remember?
you find them.
Okay.
Do you happen to remember when Call of Duty first kind of went? I don't even think Twitch was around then, but when Call of Duty first kind of went like internet videos. You remember there was like a turning moment when it went from like
That's when
everybody just
Treyarch
played online.
did
Just
the
went
game.
YouTube.
What's up?
Just when it all went to YouTube.
When it all started going to YouTube, right?
That was Black Ops 2.
Do you not remember the guy who's recording? God, there was a guy who's basically recording his screen, and it was the old Call of Duty. There's like a snow episode where you can get like on top of like the containers and whatnot. They were lined up by a train track, whatever the deal is. So he sees this guy, like he sees this little glare, and he's recording. He's like, oh, watch this. Turns on the camera, records himself going up. He climbs up the stairs. He gets behind somebody. This is before the
Messages them.
keyboards. He clicks on the guy. He messages him. Turn around. Sends. Bro, and he's just sitting there. Then all of a sudden you watch the screen. The delayed reaction. Notification pops up on the other
The
guy's
guy
screen.
stands up, turns
He
around, and
stands
stabs him.
up, turns around. He goes. Gets him. Bro, favorite video of all time. That's my favorite video of all time. Oh, and the other one was, remember when they started doing throwing knives?
Dude, throwing knives are the best.
Bro, the guy, it goes 3, 2, 1. Guy throws a throwing
Over
knife.
the top of everything.
It fucking skips over, like, it skips on a rooftop, kills somebody. It was kill cam.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gotten a couple of those.
Last
Oh,
one.
there
Last
was-
kill.
There was one where there's a rocket silo on the left-hand side of the map. I always used to throw off the rocket silo to see where it would go. Dude, I caught so many kill cams off
We're
that.
all talking about the same one, and I think that was Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
It was Black Ops.
It was
too.
Black Ops.
That
Yeah.
was the first one you could do it in.
Yeah.
When you had the dual, you could get the dual
Pistols.
Mac 11s.
Yes.
That too.
Dude, that was the best. That was the best
I used to run
thing
around that
ever.
with unlimited run with the freaking knife, and I'd jump over stuff and just pow.
So here's kind of here's my take on some of these video games, all right? So these kids are kicking ass, but I think part of the reason is we can't keep up. Like, not that we can't keep up with the game, like we can't keep up.
No, we don't have that sort of hand-eye coordination because we're older.
Not just that though, but like Call of Duty Black Ops landed, and that was the thing for until the next one came out. You get what I'm trying to say? Now with all these web-based games, shit changed. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody had Black Ops, and we could play 3 nights a week in the middle of the night when the kids go to bed, and we were decent.
Does everybody remember when internet gaming first came out on the PlayStation 2? Do you remember the advertisement?
A long time ago.
It said beating your sister doesn't count anymore.
Oh, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah. And that was the truth because
the
I
truth.
used to be able to murk all my friends.
Sure.
No problem,
Sure.
right? And then I got online for the first time. I remember the PlayStation 2, it had an adapter that would screw into the back of it, right? And it would plug into your phone line. You didn't need internet. It would plug into your phone line, but if your mom picked up, you were off the game. But it would dial out. It was totally free. And I remember I used to play that and ATV Off-Road Fury and a couple other games, but it was like I got my ass handed to me.
Oh, dude, speaking of asses handed to you and video games, you know what really rubs my butthole with sandpaper? Why do you have to fucking pay to be online, bro? Like everything, dude.
I'll tell you why.
You pay $60, $70 for the game. Then you got to pay for online. I don't know about you guys, but I play online like once, maybe every couple months, which means I'm paying like
play every day.
$19 for that one time I'm playing, essentially. It
So,
sucks.
Here's why. So PlayStation 3, remember, was free.
Yeah,
Like it, and Xbox charged. Well, as the two servers, and you got to think, popularity of video games has gone through the roof. Like when we were kids, think about it. Not every one of us had a video game. You would go over to the friend that had a Super Nintendo or whatever, right?
Sure, I remember that.
And then
You remember
now,
those days?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the one that had everything.
yeah,
People would be at
me
your
too.
house.
But the
No,
point
no,
here
literally,
is,
we would play in Christmas gifts around. I'll ask for the Sega Genesis. You get the SNES. Like my best friends would be like, no. Here's the deal. We know the deal.
I had the Genesis.
I did too. I was a Sonic guy.
I had
Me too.
both.
Yeah, but
I
my buddy,
eventually had both.
But I would be like, no. Ask your mom for the SNES. I got the Genesis. We'll be down. And dude, I got Sonic. He got Donkey Kong.
Do you remember
Done.
the Sonic
Oh,
code?
God.
Up, down, left, right, all three buttons and start. It would get you in
Oh,
Sonic the Hedgehog to
yes.
get unlimited lives and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
And then Game Shark and
Bro.
all that good stuff.
I know we're getting on a freaking tangent here, but do you not remember Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yes,
Like baseball?
best
Slugfest?
Left,
ever.
left,
That was
right,
the
right.
best game
It's
ever.
left, right, left. And then Griffey would point out, home run every single time.
Every time.
I loved it.
Clockwork.
Wasn't Bo Jackson in that game too? Or he had Bo Jackson baseball.
He had Bo Jackson baseball.
Yeah. But back to why that they started charging. So Xbox was charging. It was like $5 a month for gold.
I think I remember that.
And at the time, everybody didn't like that. But Xbox's response is we're using this money to develop server centers so your gaming experience is better. Well, that was no big deal at first because PlayStation was fine. But as it grew and PlayStation didn't have the money to keep up with the servers, you started having server glitches and
That's
you would
true.
have problems.
You would glitch
Whereas
a lot in PlayStation.
Xbox never had a problem, like
Yeah.
ever. So when the PlayStation 4 came out, they started charging, and it's not so much. I'm sure it's to make money, but at the time it wasn't to make money. It was to generate these server farms to be able to have solid gameplay. But now what they don't tell you is you're still paying for that, and most of those games have their own server farms
That's
because
true.
they want you to have a good experience
Right,
on their game.
but as technology has changed, essentially, right, that should have probably been adjusted or, like, worked itself out. You know what I mean? But here's the deal. People are like, we'll lose, like, 2%.
I don't even think they're losing that much. Personally, if it was me, and you want to charge me $50 a month to play online, versus PlayStation 4 is free, I'll pay the $50 a month because I know some 12-year-old jit is not going to be playing with me. I'm going to be playing with adults.
But that makes sense. That makes sense if I think you can control that. You get what I'm saying? Because you could still end up that one night. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's going to happen.
That one night where you got like this 12-year-old and all of his little buddies, and I'm here cursing out a 13-year-old kid. I remember him. He's like, I'm only 12.
Yeah, that happens a
And I
lot.
was just told him, I was like, oh, fuck your mother with a knife. And he's like, I'm 12 years old. Oh, shit. Sorry, bud.
And now we're going to get shut off the air.
It was more like I'm going to fuck your mom after that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fuck your mom,
I'll just
dude.
fuck her.
You want a little brother, dude?
I didn't mean the knife. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to go American Psycho.
Oh, yeah. Like, that just slipped out of my mouth. I didn't mean it. Dude. Yeah.
The games, though, here's the thing. So now, in order to be competitive, right, it used to be everybody had a video game system, everybody played the same game, everything was the same. Now, because my son's avid and really good, so now I have to get him an Xbox One X because the processor speed is a couple milliseconds faster, and if you're playing Fortnite, for instance, a millisecond will make you beat or lose to somebody.
Okay, so
Wait, on top of that, I had to up my internet speed because that's going to be a millisecond. And then on top of that, I had to run a dedicated line to his room so it can be hardwired in order to not have the Wi-Fi degradation because that's a millisecond. So at the end of the day, and because Xbox has allowed on the Xbox One X only, they allow you to use mouse and keyboard now, which is obviously faster. I had to buy him an $80 mouse, almost a $60 keyboard because they're faster, because their refresh rate is faster on those. They're gaming ones. So at the end of the day, if you're to play my son, right, he has about a half a second head start on you. So you are paying to win. I mean, is essentially what you're doing. And you can't win if me and you are the same player, right, and we're facing off, I'm going to beat you every time because I got a half a second head start, which in video game is huge. I mean, huge difference.
I just crashed the server and disconnect before you can win, though. I used to do this shit all the time.
Dude, if somebody doxes you, you're done. Just game over. You kicked offline for like 3 days.
Really?
You could be, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, remember they used to do the switches that used to make it lag, and you could kick it back on and shoot them.
I had one of those. Just kick it off and turn
They
it back
can find
on.
that now.
Oh, now they can. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have different things now that it doesn't involve the gameplay. It involves your IP. So I don't even have to touch your Xbox. Not that I do this. I don't do this. I know people that can do it, and I've seen it on YouTube a lot. People will just go and shut your IP down. They'll flood your IP is essentially what they're doing. When they flood your IP, you're done. Like you have no internet in your house at all. Yeah, you can basically shut everybody's
So their
stuff
DNS,
down.
Like they're hitting your DNS hard,
Yeah,
like
they're
over
hitting
and
it,
over and
yeah.
over again.
Like 50. I think it's like 50,000 pieces is basically what it comes down to. I don't know the exact term they use, but one of the videos I watched, they were sending like 50,000 pieces a second to your IP address, which basically shuts everything down. It can't take anything in. It can't push anything out. You're overloading it because most of your things only handle, I want to say something in like the 1,000 range or 5,000 range.
Listen to this one. This one will get you.
Like, dude, okay, so me doesn't matter. I'm like, fuck, internet sucks tonight. I turn it off.
Oh no, that's somebody
I go
messing
jerk
with
off,
you.
and
That's probably
I'm
somebody
good.
messing with you.
Right. But me, I'm like, I don't give a shit. But your stepson is probably like
Doing something to you.
flipping his shit out.
Oh,
you
yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like,
No, he'll go,
throwing
he's a
shit.
hacker. He'll start screaming. And I have to get onto him from the other room, like, stop yelling. Because he'll be like, he's a hacker. I'll hear him in there just flipping out, like he's freaking out. But listen to this. There's this thing called stream sniping. Now, listen how smart these kids are. So what they'll do, because a lot of them stream, like I even stream. OG, by the way, is on Twitch, and you can play with me. Anyways, so what they'll do is they'll watch them
It's
on
true.
Twitch. Yeah. Oh yeah, I
You
play
on
all the time.
Xbox?
But I have everything. So
Okay.
if you want to play if you want to play on Switch, if you want to play on PC,
hey,
Xbox or PlayStation, I'm
just
there
before
for
I
you.
forget, hold that stream sniping. Because of games like Fortnite. Okay, so Fortnite, I think, destroyed the internet because of being a universal platform, right? Like, so you can.
Well, no, it was because it was free.
But no, but free helps. But here's the deal: how many? Okay, so my dad was like, "Hey, I want to buy a system for your brothers. Do I go PlayStation or do I go Xbox?" That used to be an issue, right? Because proprietary games, shit you can't do on both of them, and back then it was pay or no pay. So my dad was like, "Look, I'm a Microsoft fan." He went with Xbox, right? But now you can play somebody like I could be on a freaking
Only on 2 games.
Yeah, there's only 2 games you can do that on.
What do you mean?
There's only 2 games that allow cross-platform play.
Oh, no, no.
Fortnite and the soccer ball car driving
No,
one.
but what
Yeah,
I'm getting
car
at
game.
with Fortnite is that, dude, that is what they destroyed it. They destroyed it by being able to do that.
Well, the only way, supposedly the only way you can do it with Fortnite from a PlayStation and Xbox is a computer has to be involved somewhere in the middle.
Not anymore.
They
It was
fixed it.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, I know like 2 months
Not
ago
anymore.
that's how it was.
Yeah,
so,
not anymore.
so I guess my point is, if that might be like a glimpse of future gaming, which I think makes a lot of sense, and it makes everybody competitive, right? Because it's, do you not remember though, like Xbox? You remember playing the people on Xbox versus playing the people on PlayStation?
PlayStation's always had the better gamers. Always has.
PlayStation people suck. I'll smoke all of them.
But see,
whenever they
but
want.
that's
Well,
the
you,
thing.
no,
but
you got to look because like Ninja is PlayStation.
Oh, there's a lot of people.
Laser
that
is
are
PlayStation.
very good on PlayStation, but a lot of the more hardcore game, like
Well, their PC is the best ones.
But
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm getting at was, so don't you think that the future of this is going that maybe, I don't know, guys, if Xbox and PlayStation have not already been thinking about this and they make money off of this, timestamp this shit right now, March 2nd. I said this. An ordinary guy said this shit. Don't you think it makes sense for them to probably make computer parts that allow you to build a computer that so for example, like you can build a computer that's got PlayStation parts in a sense that will let you play on the PlayStation network and play on Xbox network in a way that you're like you said with your stepson, right? He's got the best, keyboard, the best mouse, and all that basically allows you to take like the chassis of something and build it the way you want to. Does that make sense?
They won't do that though, because what they'll still do is like Xbox is always going to have Halo. PlayStation is always going to have Gran Turismo.
Right. But
There's
maybe you
games-
pay for that. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe you pay for that game or access to that game, but you're playing it via Xbox through your computer.
Well,
Have you ever seen? Do you not remember? Like there used to be a thing with the old tower computer where somebody basically took the guts out of like a PlayStation, an Xbox, and basically built them as like compartments into their computer. I have to find that. It was really old.
If you Xbox and PlayStation now are just super inexpensive loaded computers. Is what they are. They're
right.
underpriced supercomputers.
Usually non-updatable in the fact that like the hardware is what it is. You can't.
Yeah,
New
I mean they're
technology comes
not
out, you
making
can't.
money off the hardware. They're making money off the games.
Sure.
I think what they should both do is so my brother has like a $5,000 computer that he built. Why can't we make Xboxes like that or PlayStations like that?
That's kind of what
To
I'm getting
make
at.
them
You can
faster.
add,
But
but you can upgrade your.
The problem with
PlayStation.
that's going to be is you have
price
a
yourself out of the
$10,000
market.
computer or a $10,000 Xbox to play. You're not going to price yourself out of the market because there's going to be people like you that say you want to be faster. So you're going to pay the more money to get faster when I don't care. I'm going to pay my $500. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to play my game, and that's it. It's done.
But now you're half a second behind everybody.
Dude, you could be 2 seconds behind everybody. You
So-
don't know. But
Right.
they should set it up also so that way your ping is equal to each other.
Yes, I agree.
I have
That's
to
one thing
explain
I've always agreed
stream
with.
sniping still.
Yes.
Because we have a tendency to forget.
Yeah, but I do think that's valid. Is that like there's a way to basically register, right? And here's the deal: it's kind of like, all right, so I can compare this like competitive, like running and shit like that, right? If you're saying that you're in the Olympian class, right? They put you up front. You have to prove that shit, right? You have to prove it, and not only that, but like USADA and stuff like that are probably like you have files, right? They're gonna check you for doping and shit like that. They're not checking me. They don't give a shit where I am, right? But if you're competing for something, they do, right? So why not, right? Why not like register as like an elite class or some shit like that? Does that make sense?
I think they should have to go off what your internet's based off of, what they see.
Well, here's the thing.
You can read that stuff easy, right? Can't they go
yeah,
on their
yeah.
server?
Well, I was
They
going
can
to
tell,
say,
like,
so
how fast
you can
you're-
play Fortnite on a phone, right?
Oh shit!
I got that.
You're
You
good.
can play Fortnite on a phone, but obviously it is hard to play on a phone. So when they put you in, they know you're coming from a phone, so you play against phone people. So here's what we do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So here's what we do. We will log one of my phones in,
Oh boy.
and then attach to the group to the phone, we end up playing phone people and just murk them. I mean, murk them, because it goes off of who's the head of the group, so to speak, who's the king of the group. Oh, dude. We do massive damage.
You just told everybody.
That's
though.
why I just play PUBG. Although PUBG, you could probably get
PUBG's
away
on
with
phone,
it
too.
Oh, I know. I play on the phone all the time. When I'm at work, sitting in the hotel or
Oh,
at the
yeah,
house,
yeah. What's PUBG?
It's
it took me
Fortnite
forever to
without
figure out
building,
Fortnite.
and it's not cartoony.
it's pub. Yeah,
Wait, didn't you make me download that? You can get like armor and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that.
I
in
kind
Fortnite,
of
too.
liked that. I kind of liked that, but everybody wanted to play Fortnite.
See, Fortnite to me is too cartoony. I don't like it.
I agree.
It's the cartoony BS.
I agree.
And then you got different class of the same exact gun you can grab.
Sure.
That's annoying. I think it's like blue,
It
green,
should
purple,
be, yeah, it should
whatever.
be like one gun. One
Yeah.
gun.
Orange
A shotgun's
is
a
the
shotgun.
best. Orange
Yeah,
is
see,
elite.
orange. You need to get orange.
Right.
So if you don't find an orange gun and he has an orange gun, boom, you're dead. It's over.
But no, but PUBG was like you found a helmet.
Yeah, you found a level 1, level 2, or level 3 helmet, or you found an AKM. There's one AKM.
Right, right,
Now
right.
you got to find parts to add on to it and get the correct bullets
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
See, but I think the balance to that is finding the right gun that doesn't need the most upgrades that you can just go start killing people right away. Because you can spend, I remember spending like 20 minutes looking for all my shit. I'm all suited up. I die in 2 seconds.
Most of the time, like when I start playing PUBG and we land, as soon as we find out wherever we're going to go, we try to find places we know there's things to find. like on top of the school.
I see what you're saying.
Or on top of certain other buildings, depending on what map you're on. You know where you're gonna go. Like there's a map that's based off of Vietnam. You always
Which is
go,
another thing. There's only one map in Fortnite.
Yeah, there's one map
That's
in Fortnite.
true.
I have 4 maps in PUBG. Well, on the phone there's 4 maps. I can't remember how many are on Xbox now.
I don't know.
So
I'm stuck on Fortnite.
you know where stuff's at. The Vietnam map, we always go towards the docks.
See, if I was
main
the one
map's
who's
towards the
developing
school.
this shit, I would find a way to randomize all that stuff.
They randomize what's there.
Yeah,
But
there's
it's still
always
there.
It's always
It's kind of
there.
like Fortnite. There's always going to be a chest, let's say, in the boat in the middle of the pond. But you don't know
You
what's
don't know
going to
what's
be
in
in the chest in the boat in the middle of the pond.
And are you gonna go risk your life to go get it?
Do
Yeah.
some people know, though? Is there a way? Do you think there's
No.
a way to know?
There's no
Yeah.
way.
The people that are playing, kind of no. I mean, like know what's in the box.
Yeah.
No.
You get what I'm saying? So that they're like, they won't jump out here. They'll jump out there because they know what's there.
Depending on what map I'm playing on, I'm gonna jump in the same spots no matter what because I know there's things there. I can play with anything that's there.
Sure.
And there's no
Because I'm-
chests in PUBG. There's just stuff lying around.
Right. So that changes everything. Because the chest, like in Fortnite, like you want the chest, right? So I'm telling you, there in my little mind, I still know that there is an algorithm that tells you what's where, but it's probably fucking way too complicated.
It's like Bitcoin. Stream sniping.
Yes.
So what stream sniping is?
You know what stream sniping is?
No idea.
So these people will watch, like, let's say Ninja. Have you heard of Ninja?
Mm-hmm.
So Ninja's like the multi-bazillionaire video game playing
Dumped his
pink-haired-
supermodel
yes,
girlfriend.
because she wanted him to give up gaming.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't either, because that's his life money.
Bitch, that's the reason why you like me.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. He'd be a college kid somewhere hanging out with pimples on his face. I mean, that's just what it is.
Bro, 15 years ago, that is who he was.
Oh,
Yeah.
all day, every
Right?
day. No
15.
question.
He's only like 20-something.
Fucking
yeah.
world we live in.
Dude, and now he's sponsored by Samsung. They give him phones. Oh, yeah.
Samsung.
See, back in the day when we used to play Call it like Black Ops 2, we played Search and Destroy. Well, I worked at the bar. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. My buddies didn't have girlfriends at the time. They all worked at the bar or somewhere.
But you would have as a professional gamer. You'd have had
Dude,
your girlfriend
no
then.
Shit. I'd have had a fucking fine ass girlfriend because we were all in the top 10. My buddy
you could
Anthony
have been a
was
snaggletooth, weird-looking dude. No one would care.
could have been. My buddy Anthony was number 1. My buddy Kyle was number 3. I was number 9.
Get the hell out of here.
No, on Search and Destroy. Dead serious.
In the nation.
In the nation. No,
I
on the
don't
whole
believe him.
game.
I don't believe
I got a
him.
picture on my Facebook somewhere. I'll try to
I
find it.
want to see it,
No,
and
I-
he needs to
Dude,
post
listen,
it
I believe
because
him.
I will get down and do the worship.
No,
thing.
I believe him.
No, I didn't say I was number 1. I can call the person that's number 1 all day. So
We need to have
this
that
is what
guy on the
happened.
show.
No, he's annoying. You won't even, dude. He won't talk. He'll go. No, you can't.
We've had some bad guests.
We've had some
So
bad guesses.
basically, all we did was we went to work. I had to be at work at 7:00 at night, so I woke up around 6:30. Go to work at 7. I'm home at 3:00 in the morning. From 3:00 in the morning until whenever I fell asleep, we'd play. I'd wake up, we'd start playing. I only worked 4 nights a week.
That's how I was with Need for Speed Underground.
Oh, that
Bro,
game
those
was
games
worth
were
it, though.
legit.
Yeah, that was a legit game too. But
Uh,
so we'd get on, and all we do is play all day. Oh man, we fell down to 15. Okay, let's just play for 12 hours, rack scores up, and then we're good to go. So originally, before they kicked all the hackers off, we were all in like the top 80. Then all of a sudden, one day they came in, wiped everything in front of us. Boom, we're all in like the top 20.
Nice.
Okay, at this point, let's just play. So there was like a 3-day thing. I asked for off work. Everybody got off work.
Yes, I
Dude,
love this
We
guy.
all got off work just to do this, just to take a picture. That's all we went for. So I was in the lead for like a day and a half. I was ahead of everybody.
What was your kill to death ratio on average?
4 something? I was on like a 4 point something.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, mine
Yeah,
was
it
bad.
it was ridiculous. So I always ran with the dual Mac 11s or
Nice.
a Mac 11, the throwing knife and all that stuff. So there was one map. It was the snow map we were on, and I was inside the building. They threw knives and everything. Anthony and Kyle both died right off rip, and they were cursing. They were pissed. And I heard them when it happened, and then boom, it's silent. I don't hear anything. So there's me and 2 other guys left over, or 3 other guys left over. They die right away. I'm inside the building freaking out. I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Somebody comes in. Boom, he's dead. And I hide back behind the desk. I see 2 people run past me. I'm like, oh, crap, I'm going to die. So I just hide. I don't move. Nothing. Another guy comes
Damn
past me.
camper.
One guy, boom, he's dead. I start shooting him up. Then the 2 guys come back, and they run back in front of me. And they go into the little side room where the stairs are. And I just get up, throw a grenade first, a flashbang, and I just went in the room, just letting them up. Boom, they're both dead. Now it's like me and like one guy left. So I'm sitting there like 5-0, freaking out. My phone's ringing. Anthony's calling me, trying to tell me where he's at. He knows where he's at. And I'm like, I ain't moving. I'll let the clock run out. I don't care at this point. I'm not messing my KD up. I'm not messing nothing up. I'm like destroying people. Let's run it, see what happens. So this idiot comes in, he throws a grenade and hurts me. Sees that he hurts me, but he doesn't kill me. So he comes up the stairs, comes in the building, and just standing there. I'm looking at him underneath
That's something I would do.
Because I was squatted down. I was laid down on the ground, hiding away. So I see his feet. I'm like, he ain't moving. He's just sitting there. I'm like, something's got to happen. So all of a sudden, I just stand up, and he's not even looking at me. He's looking the other way. And I'm like, this is too simple.
Might have been lagging.
Ba-bam! Boom, he's dead. 6-0. I'm like freaking out. And everybody comes back on. They're all screaming. I'm like, yo, we just did it, blah, blah, blah. It was awesome. And then all of a sudden, boom, here we go. We're playing again. I start dying right off rip every time. Instead of Anthony or Kyle dying, it's me dying every time. Now I'm getting pissed. So they all jump ahead of me, and I'm just falling back. So now I'm getting more mad, obviously, as time goes on. And it was sometime on a Saturday. I know, Saturday, at like 21, 22 years old, however old I was. That was pretty bad. So that's all I was doing all day Friday, all day Saturday. Probably stank. Grandma was yelling at me to take a shower or some shit. I don't know. So anyway, we all get in. Boom. We're all in the top 10. I want to say it was like 5, 6, and 9 or 5, 6, and 8. So we play this one last game, and to try to get Anthony to number 1, because Anthony and Kyle are right next to each other, and I was farther back because I was already in a bad mood. I was tired. I didn't want to be there anymore. I was like over this. Like, dude, we all made top 10. Let's just quit. I don't care at this point. Like, I'm going to stop playing. And they're like, no, you can't stop playing. We need you because there's 3 of us and we all know what we do instead of 2 people. I'm like, dude, there's 2 people. Y'all know what you do. We normally do this all the time. It's because the third person's the hardest part to get. One of us will call each other. Boom, we're on. We're playing.
Right.
Third person won't show up.
Right.
So for this whole weekend, everybody took off work. There was a whole, like, this was all planned out. So we play like 2 or 3 more games. Anthony and Kyle get 1 and 3. And then I'm still at 9. I'm cursing him out because I'm playing horrible. My KD dropped horribly. I'm like, I'm pissed. Like, I was in lead at everybody for like the first day and a half, almost 2 days.
And now the weird nerdy guy.
Yeah, he's way ahead of me. And there was no catching up. Like, I'm talking, he was probably a good 100,000 points ahead of me was the difference. And you're talking 100,000 points when you're only getting 5,000 points a game is a lot.
That's a lot. Because
you
they're
know
still
what?
getting points too.
Yeah,
So you're
because
still-
I'm getting points and he's getting points.
Right.
So there's no way. If he's getting 5,000 points and I'm getting 4,500 points, or even if I'm getting 6,000 and his 5,000.
Dude, that's a
Why didn't we
100.
start a
100.
show with this?
100. Yeah, it would've
I'm
been a
so
lot better.
intrigued.
Yeah. Hey, because we have to touch on it because we talked about it. All right, we have to talk about it. Gambling odds.
Let me finish stream sniping.
Jesus Christ, we never talked about stream
No.
sniping.
Stream-
We just ignored
Stream
him, bro.
sniping is if no,
We
listen.
ignored
I'll do it real quick. So stream sniping is if you're watching somebody on Twitch, such as him, and he's killing everybody, right? They will get in the same game as him because they will wait and watch him on the stream and hit start at the same time, get into the same room, know where he's at because they're watching him on Twitch, and all come blow his ass up, and they do it all the time. So
But
all
is
these
that-
streamers,
Is that like a targeting thing? So for
yeah,
example, like
you can get kicked out of Fortnite for that.
yeah, but like you got 5 dudes that all go to the same school and they got beef with this one guy, so they.
I don't
fucking
think anybody
shit
fights on the video game field, but
No, because like
they might nowadays.
I listen.
They
I gotta
probably
get my
do.
brother on. My brother is so I got 2 brothers. One's like the jock. One's the gamer. Right. The gamer. Okay. The gamer is like he'll talk about it. Like you'll hear him and his buddy talk, and they're like, "Oh, whatever, Joe." You know what I mean? Oh, that little asshole is blah blah blah. You know what I'm trying to say? So like that's something that they would do. I can see it. Stream sniping somebody like their buddy, obviously. But anyway, since you 2 fucks are on camera, just playing with your fucking phones.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'll switch to me.
Tony's been sitting outside.
Has he really?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to go let him in.
Listen,
you can wrap the show
So
up.
we gotta wrap this shit
Hey,
up.
it was awesome, and we're having you on again. And I mean, you, dude, he's coming on OG Gaming.
Yeah. Do you,
We can do
You
whatever.
need to come
bro.
over to my house, and we'll do an OG Gaming session.
That's fine.
Yeah, for
I'm
real.
in.
Wait, that was on me the whole time you guys had that love
Oh,
fest.
whatever. That's
that was on
fine.
me. So
I'll kiss
hey.
him on the cheek. I don't care.
really quick, because I told because I don't know for one, so I need to learn this shit, right? So there's UFC fights going on tonight.
Okay.
Right? I didn't look at the odds. I'm not even gonna pull up the computer and look at it, right? But give me an example of what it would look like. Are you familiar with like UFC odds and shit like that?
Yeah, but I don't know what they are for tonight.
Well, let's just say you got
Dude, I can pull it up in 2 seconds.
fighter 1, fighter 2. right?
So all depends. Let's pull it up real quick. I pull it up right now.
All right.
I think I can. One
So-
of these phones.
While you're doing that, so the reason why you got fucking 2 phones,
2 phones.
God, gangster.
One for
So-
the plug.
The reason why I ask is because we were looking at, I want to say it was Tom Brady touchdown passes, right? So one of the prop bets was four touchdown passes for Tom Brady, right? And the odds were like 1 to 2. I kind of get that shit. 1 to 5, I get that shit. But one of them, like I'm telling you, the odds were like 7 to 5 or something like that. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I don't even understand what that shit means. So I figured you can help explain odds for the people who don't know that shit.
Well, it all depends on what exactly we're looking at. Like, let me find the UFC fights right now, and I'll tell you. Mixed martial arts, Jones versus Smith. That's tonight. Continue.
What do you think about that, by the way?
Like,
Is this
which
just
fight?
a layup for Jones?
I don't know. Jones thinks he's is in the baddest shape of his life, which I think he is. Jones a bad man.
He's a
no matter
bad
what.
motherfucker.
He's a bad man. I don't.
Bad dude, bro.
If I got an option of him or Brock Lesnar behind me, I'll take John Jones all day,
I
every
agree.
day, no matter what. But the scary thing is, like, you don't know when a fight's happening. You remember that Kimbo Slice fight back in the day?
Yes.
The little dude that weighed like 150 pounds, the black hair with the pink on top. Homeboy, like, oh, Kimbo's going to run this dude over. Like, first round, maybe, don't quote me on this, like 30 seconds in, boom, knockout. Kimbo's out cold.
Yeah.
Like, where'd that come from? You
Yep.
don't know. You don't know.
Bro, it's fighting. All right, it's fighting. Don't you think it's a lot different if it's like, I don't know, think about like the LeBron James Heat versus the New York Knicks at the time. You knew the outcome of that shit, especially if it was like a fight, like a playoff series, right?
Oh, 100%. You know who's going to
knew
win.
who was going to win. Even if they lost the game, you understood what that was. That was, let's see if we can pull it off while we're recouping for the next game, right? Fighting is so much different, right? Because you can have two of the you can have the best fighter in the world against a nobody. That nobody catches you right on the chin at the right spot. That shit's over.
It's one time. I mean, you can go back looking at like Chuck Liddell's loss or Anderson Silva's loss when he had a loss, like his first loss when it happened, or when he broke his leg. You can take his broken leg for an example. He had that's a loss on your record, but all of a sudden you're doing fine. Boom, something quick happens. Fight's over. You're done. There's a loss.
Who fought recently and like blew out their knee? Wasn't it like the dude who might what the hell is that guy's name? Fedor?
I don't know. I haven't.
Dude,
watched
there was a fight recently in the last couple of weeks. There's a fight recently in the last couple of weeks. Within seconds, right? Literally, they go. You can see them kind of feeling each other out, slugging a little bit. Dude steps wrong. His knee buckles. Kind of as he's going down, dude clips him, gets on top of him, punch, 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 over, right? Dude, that could have gone a million different directions had that knee not blown out, right? You're talking 3 rounds, 5 rounds. You're talking could have ended in submission, knockout. Who the hell knows? Now, bro, your knee took you out. Your own knee took you out, and he didn't do anything to it. Like, you were literally, like, stepping, and it buckled.
That's all it takes sometimes. You never really know what happens. So let's go, like, with tonight's fights. You can start off with, like, let's just start out with the 2 main ones. John Jones fighting Anthony Smith.
Okay.
Anthony Smith is plus 500. John Jones is minus 700. So basically with those two, like, fighting's a little different. There's 2 options, and that's it.
Okay.
Well, there's also a round option also. So your main line, Anthony Smith plus 500. If you bet $100, you can win 500.
Okay, so that seems a little more simple than some of the other stuff.
That's the simple way. It's the easy way. Like John Jones minus 700.
Okay.
It costs you $700 to make $100.
Okay, so you bet $700, you walk away with 800.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you made $100 profit is all you did.
Okay.
So it's not like
It's not very profitable to throw a bunch of money at. Well,
if you're talking like if you have hundreds of $1,000s like Floyd Mayweather does,
you're
and
throwing
just
$1
gonna
million
go put
bucks
$1
on
million
this
it,
fight, you'll make some
you'll
change.
make money.
Right.
But if you don't, like if you're like us and you want to put the $100,
You got
$1,000
$1,000 in your bank account and you want to make money on Jones fighting tonight, you got to throw it all on him.
Yeah, you're not gonna even make any money. What's the point? You're risking too much.
You're risking too much.
But Jones has there's a reason he's minus 700
Right.
because they're expecting him to win.
Of course.
Does it happen all the time? No.
Well, that's why the other guy still gets something, right?
So
in his favor.
There was a fight a couple months back. It was the Vietnam zombie or some zombie dude. I can't remember his name.
Korean Zombie.
Korean zombie. He was winning
The whole fucking time.
fight.
The whole
The
time.
whole fight. The last 10 seconds, all he should have done is backed up.
Yep.
But no, he went in attack mode, tried to win the fight. Next thing you know, he's out cold, laying on the ground.
Yes.
It's over. I only had $5 on the fight with my buddy
It
at
was
the
no
bar.
big deal, right?
So it was like, oh, that sucks. Like, but whatever.
Right, but those are the best odds, right? $5 on you're winning $5.
Yeah, it's a $5 pick 'em with your buddy. Like, hey, I
Right.
bet you. Like me and Cody used to do it all the time. We're sitting at the bar. Hey, $1, it's a strike
Sure.
on a baseball game or something stupid
Sure.
like that.
Right.
So, like, but still, why at that point in the fight would you try to do something dumb?
Well, that was like that Derek Lewis fight. The Derek Lewis fight that my balls was on fire fight.
Oh, when he was getting his ass
He was getting his ass
whooped
beat
the whole game.
Knocked the fuck out of that dude
Yeah.
in the last round. And there was not very much of that round left either, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Knocks him out. It's over.
That's
right?
all it takes, though.
All it takes.
One step.
Especially if you got fists that are like goddamn boulders,
Oh, I know.
right? But that's why I appreciate fighting. Now, I do think that fighting's become a hell of a lot more of like knockouts, especially MMA. I do like to see a lot of jiu-jitsu. I like to see the wrestling. I like that, right? It's more fun. But I won't watch like a jiu-jitsu tournament, right?
No,
like,
what for?
yeah, it's a little boring, right?
Yeah.
I want to see the whole fucking thing, but like some of my best fights were like BJ Penn fights.
Oh, BJ Penn, Chuck Liddell back in the day, old Tito Ortiz, old school Ken Shamrock,
Yes.
old school George St. Pierre before he took time off.
Bro,
You're talking fights
GSP.
that were just fights.
you're right, and a lot of people be like, "Oh, GSP fights were boring," but like, no, did you try to go toe to toe with him? Ends up going to the ground, and then he's fighting you on the ground.
That's almost like Conor and Khabib when that happened. Dude, Khabib wrestles bears.
He
I don't
wrestled
care
fucking bears.
what you
He
say.
was like 13 years
I
old.
don't care how old the fuck he was. He was wrestling a bear. like that dude that does the video where he's like, nobody told me he wrestled a fucking bear. Well, duh. Like, you finally wrestled a bear. Everybody should have put money on
Wrestled a
Khabib.
fucking
He
bear.
wrestled a fucking
Right.
bear.
You know, Conor went into that with all that hype, though, of the fight. Like, he made himself bigger than what he was, right? Like, to be honest with you, I think Conor might be done.
Conor's coach told him to stop fighting.
Really?
He said, you don't have it anymore. And Conor's like ignoring him. Why?
Yeah.
He wants the money. I don't know why he wants the money. He made $100 million off Floyd.
Yeah.
Which I knew that if he didn't knock Floyd out in the first 3 rounds,
It was going to be.
it was gonna be a Floyd Mayweather fight.
I knew, like, as the rounds were going on, it started to look a little bleak for him. You know, it started getting.
Oh, he started getting tired.
Now, that one uppercut, where was that? Like, 3rd round, maybe something like that? I don't
Yeah.
remember. It
No,
was
it was later on.
And all of a sudden, I'm, like, back into it. I'm like, oh, shit, he's got a chance.
That's all it takes.
But you could see, like, in Floyd's eyes, he was like, all right, he was gauging, like, his level of play, right?
yeah, he's like, oh, he got me. Let
He
me
got
back
me.
up. Let me
Right.
tire him back
He
down.
still has something, right?
Yep.
He can still fuck me up here. So that's it. And then he's like, all right. And then if you watched him, like, is that a knockout? That's not a knockout. That's a gas out.
I mean, that's a TKO. That's a technical
He's a
knockout.
technical knockout, right? He freaking knocked himself out, essentially, right? Because those punches, dude, first round, those punches are not phasing anybody.
There's a long difference in between MMA fight and a boxing fight.
Sure.
Boxing fight, they're preparing for 12, 15 rounds. I mean, not 15 anymore. It's 12.
It's like running a marathon versus going out and doing a little sprint.
Yeah.
You know,
You're preparing for this for a reason.
correct.
Someone like Conor that was only preparing it for 8 months to a year that he was preparing for
Right.
has nothing on somebody that's been preparing for it his whole life and
Sure.
is already 49-0.
Dude, make that ring a third of the size.
It should be the size of this room.
Right. Make that ring the size, like a 10 by 10 box, right? Shit changes.
All day.
All day. Conor now has knockout power, right? You know what I'm saying?
There's
like,
not all that running around and hiding.
you can't hide. You can't run around.
That's my thing with Floyd. I know we're hopping on.
Dude, we are.
subjects here.
We are. But this is the fun shit
same
about
thing.
this.
Like Floyd, all he's done his whole career is defensive boxing.
Sure. But
Yeah, he's great at it. He's the best to ever
Sure.
do it. Defensively. Offensively, he's not a powerhouse. He
No.
doesn't knock people out. It's all about points. He knows how to run the system. He knows
Right.
how to do it, and he does it very well.
Right.
As long as you do it well and you're constantly winning, what's the difference?
Well, if that
You're
fight were to
winning
be settled with, I give you my hardest punch, you give me your hardest punch, I think Floyd's like, fuck that, I'm out.
all day.
All day, right?
Dude, you see Conor?
Conor crushing somebody.
Floyd is like a twig.
Yeah.
He's got muscle.
He's
Floyd-
got muscle.
Floyd's got
He's
muscle.
fast. He's got endurance.
But back in the day, let's go back to like when he fought Arturo Gatti back in like 2000 to 2002, sometime in that time range. if you look at the two of them standing next to each other, Gotti has arms that are the size of softballs, like big old biceps. Floyd Mayweather has like a pencil.
Oh, he was even smaller
Back in
then,
the
yeah.
day, he was small. So what's I mean, dude, you're talking about somebody that's gonna swing and hurt you compared to somebody that's throwing a nice little jab defensively and moving around, making sure you're tired. And I'm gonna tap you in the face 900 times. And don't get me wrong, getting tapped in the face 5 times
Bro, here's the deal.
is gonna hurt.
Get tapped in the face 5 times in the first round sucks. Fucking 10 rounds into it, you're fucking tired. You may want to just fall down. You may want to be like, bro, just tap me hard enough that I go down because I'm fucking tired, man.
Well, that's almost like talking about tired going into the who the hell just fought that was a BS fight.
Well, do you not remember them like smiling in the later rounds? And it's kind of like they're like,
they
we
knew
just
they were making money.
we got paid, and he's getting tired, and he's like, you mother. Because here's the deal, we're buddies. If people wanted to pay us $100 million to fight each other, but we had to legit train and stuff, I would train to rip your
All
head
day.
off all day long,
Every day.
right? Because maybe I got 75 and you got 25, right? But at some point, you tag me, and I'm like, motherfucker, but we both made some fucking money.
That comes down to like that dumb Facebook post. Would you shoot your best friend in the leg for $100 million?
Yep.
Frank, I'm sorry. I'm putting a bullet somewhere in your leg. I'm gonna try not to hit the bone,
Right,
but I'm
right,
putting a
right,
bullet in your
right.
leg.
You gonna help me out with the medical bill?
Yeah.
All right,
I'll
we're good.
break off half for all I give a shit.
Then we're good.
We're good. We're gonna make money.
Right.
All right, so let's just go back to the betting part since we're going
All
on
right.
a tangent here. So other bets. So like for the John Jones fight and the Anthony Smith fight, there's a total round bet.
Okay.
They're saying a round and a half.
Jesus.
So they think
think 5-round championship.
it's a 5-round
Okay.
fight. They're thinking it's going to be over within a round and a half. So either a submission or a knockout or a stoppage. Somewhere in the first round and halfway through the second round, the fight's going to be over.
Okay, so reiterate that one more time. So what is they say a round and a half?
Yeah, you have a round and a half as your under-over.
Is your under-over. Okay, so you
So-
can bet saying it'll be over a round and a half
Yep.
or
under.
Or under.
So your under bet for tonight's fight is plus 125 for under the fight.
Okay.
So if it's less than a round and a half, which they obviously think it's not going to be
Right.
because they're giving you more money to take that bet.
Right.
The over the round and a half, which is anywhere past that halfway point of the second round, could be a second past, could be all the way to the fifth round, is minus $145. So it costs you $145 to win $100.
See, you would think just in everything in consideration, you would say, why not take that bet? Because think about it's not saying it has to go 4.5 rounds. Like literally, they could be feeling each other out for the first round. You just got to get through a half of a round.
They could be feeling each other out for 3 rounds.
They really
I doubt
could.
it's going to happen.
Me too.
The two people that are fighting, but they could just be feeling on each
I
other
mean, they
out.
might go out swinging
whole
for the
fight.
fences or
So then you also have the Tyron Woodley fight, which is the over-under is 4.5 rounds. They think
so
that
they think
fight's
that's
going to
go the distance.
Which that's a good thing. I mean, you could bet the over. They're both minus. So it costs you $105 to do the over and $115 to do the under.
So they still think it's going to go the distance because they're giving you more.
Well, yeah, kind of.
They're giving you more to
think
take
it's going to go all the way.
Right.
They don't think it's going to be a knockout or submission because
That's
you got
interesting.
two guys that aren't really. Tyron Woodley can knock people out. They both
Right.
can knock people out.
Right.
But they don't think that's going to happen in that fight.
Well, I mean, I don't know Woodley as much, but these are more like wrestling.
No, Woodley's a striker.
Is he a striker?
Oh, yeah. He has knockout power.
Interesting.
So I mean, you got a whole bunch of different things. Now let's back out of fighting. I know that's tonight. But let's go look at basketball. Basketball is the best way to do it. We'll do college basketball because that's what's really going on right now. That's almost like Duke with Zion.
Like, is Zion going to blow his shoe out?
Now, see, here's the problem about Zion's shoe. They were saying that Zion's shoe was like games old played in. Games old. Most NBA players, like they were all talking about it. Shaq, Penny, all them. New pair every single game. No wear and tear on the shoe, no nothing. This kid is so old school-ish, I guess you could say. He's like, this is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm wearing my same shoe all the time, however he wants to do it.
But that kind of falls back on him then now.
Kind of, sort of, but not really. You're still wearing $100-some, $200-300 shoe from
Should
Nike.
last more than fucking 50 minutes.
It should.
He's wearing the Kyrie Irvings.
Is
PG 3s, yeah.
I don't know what he's wearing, but still, those shoes, they should last more than a couple games. But these guys are playing hard in them. It's not like us that are playing in these shoes.
I got a pair of basketball shoes that are like 5 years old.
I wouldn't play in them.
Really?
Yeah, because, dude, did you see what happened to Zion?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not getting paid. Now, that also comes down to the point where it's like, hey, is Zion ever going to play again? Zion should play again.
He should.
If you're playing for the best coach in the nation, why aren't you going to play again? The whole point of going there was to play for that coach, to get recognized, and you're also playing with 2 of the top 10 other stars in college basketball,
right.
Cam Reddish and R.J. Barrett.
Right.
R.J. being the better of the 2.
It's not like you're the best player on a crap team, and who the fuck cares?
No, you're the best player out of 3 that are on the team.
Right.
But still.
Right, but you still have 2 other players that are really good caliber.
Yeah. So let's go and let's look at Houston and Boston that are playing tomorrow, March 3rd. That's tomorrow, right? So the spread is only plus 2.5 to Houston.
Oh, sis.
So Houston can lose by 2 points and they still win the bet.
Right.
So that's minus 110. Now Boston is also minus 110 because I think the game can go either way. It's going to cost you $110 to make $100 off that game.
Okay.
Then you can go to the over-under, which is 266 points. Same thing, minus 110. Then you have the straight line on that game also, which is your line is plus 120 for Houston, minus 140 for Boston. So it costs you $140 to make money on, or make $100 off Boston. $100 makes you $120 on Houston. Now these are professional games. This one's a good one. Detroit and Toronto, their money line. Toronto is minus 185. Costs you $185 to win $100. Where Detroit, you can make $165 off 100.
So that means they feel like Detroit's gonna lose.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out when you read that
Have
stuff.
you seen their
That's,
record?
That doesn't look like a close
I don't
game.
even follow.
Now there's a lot of games like if you go to the NFL, there's actual prop bets.
Right.
Heads or tails. What color is the Gatorade gonna be?
Right.
That is some of the dumbest bets that people.
Those
can
are
bet
all
on and
sucker
make
bets,
money.
right?
Kinda, sorta. I mean, the coin's never gonna land on its side. It's always heads
So
or
it's one or the
tails.
other.
It's
So
a
it's 50-50 no matter
bet,
what.
But you don't get paid out 50-50.
However, Kevin and I did remember the thing we did? We flipped a coin. We were doing 50 because we were like at 50-50. We flipped a coin like 10 times and it was heads all 10 times, which means that in theory it should eventually
In theory, it should have been 5 and 5.
should have been 5 and 5. We got fucked on that one. But dude, we need to do another video game night. Right, Kevin?
We need to do another episode because I found this very intriguing.
Yeah, we need to get into video games. We do have to put the kibosh on this one, if that's cool with everybody. Dude, you want to let people know? You want people to follow you? You want people to leave you the fuck alone?
No, I want everybody to follow me.
All right.
Well, I don't know.
Tell
If they want
people-
to follow me, they can just follow my regular page. You're just going to see a lot of memes and bullshit.
Which I like, by the way. You got to follow him.
I will.
Yeah,
Dude, I post some funny shit sometimes, and a lot of things I question because I'm like, shit, my aunt or my cousin's on this thing.
That's me.
And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to post it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my baby daddy's a piece of shit. Nah, bitch, you let... No, I can't say it on the air. You let lame motherfuckers come inside you. That's what it comes down to.
That's normal.
That's what it comes down
Yeah,
to.
it's good. It's
Well,
good.
There's other things on there.
Well, tell people how to follow you because I think with this, there's probably going to be some people, especially in the video game realm, that are going to want to keep up with you.
All right, my Facebook page is Joseph Parlapiano. Just look me up. It's got a picture of me and a small child on a Ferris wheel on it.
His child, don't.
My child. Yeah, my kid. So you can look me up that way. I'm on there. Or I also have a business page if you're interested in fish, coral, reptiles, or anything like that. It's Joe-Coralville.
Joe-Coralville?
Joe Coralville.
All right. Make sure you send me that stuff, too, because I'll put it on the notes on the show.
To you.
All right, guys. Let's see. God, I've been on this one scene forever. I don't know. Dude, I don't even know that I switched the camera to me.
You probably didn't.
But
It's
anyway,
okay. No one wants to see
so
you.
let's see if what I do right now wraps this show up. Ready? All right, everybody. Peace out.
Don't worry about our links.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, so
No.
we're still alive?
No, we do this.